Hey kids, it's Nathan here, in my shop in the Belafonte, um, with my new camera mount. Yeah, you'll see more videos with like a more step by step what I'm doing. I see right now I'm doing general overviews of my process, but as I get better camera mounts and maybe better cameras, um, that will increase. I will show more of the step by step. You'll see a lot more time lapse of me just dremeling or putting stuff together or whatever. You'll get more of that. But anyway, that's totally aside and not at all related to this video. This video I don't really want to do, but I feel like I have to. Um, gonna talk for a little bit about one of my good friends. Um, I don't want to name him uh, because it might, for some, taint his memory. But no, he's one of my best friends. He died about 2 years ago, and the reason he died was ultimately gastroparesis. That is paralysis of the vagus nerve, which is the nerve in your stomach, or around your stomach. I don't know. I'm a layman. I am not a doctor, but this is my understanding of the disease: is that the vagus nerve, which somehow triggers your digestive tract to digest, was in his case restricted or paralyzed, um, and didn't digest properly. Um, he had very little treatment, very little uh, usable treatment, um, and yeah, it led us to looking to other venues for treatment. Now, this included, and well, was mostly limited to, in fact, uh, exploring street drugs. We found that uh, counterintuitively, in this case, uh, methamphetamine was very useful in that even though it's an appetite restrictor, it helped him to eat uh, because it forced his bowels to move. Uh, when you initially start doing meth at the beginning of any binge or any real encounter, um, there is a desire to take a crap, to move your bowels, a strong, overwhelming desire. You got to poop. Um, and that helped him. It kick-started things on that tract, helped him to clear out what was very little in there, and it helped him to eat. The guy could eat every time after we started smoking meth. And that was extremely useful in keeping him alive, in that the guy would go 3 weeks between meals. And I knew that was going to kill him, and I said as much, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about things that the government says have no medical purpose. Um, I wanted to pursue ecstasy in his treatment, MDMA. It has a unique property of destroying nerves and mutating them as they grow back. In his case, the vagus nerve was at issue, and I believed that any mutagenic regrowth of the nerve endings had the where was I? It's had the potential to regrow the nerving in a beneficial way. It could have regrown um, poorly or maybe made him worse off, but the guy was so bad, uh, there was no worse off. Anything was better than what he had, so there was nothing but hope. Um, I unfortunately couldn't find any ecstasy on the street. I looked and I tried. I asked new people. Um, I looked to everyone you can possibly elicit illegal drugs from to try and get ecstasy. but wasn't able to find any before he died. I looked for almost a year, and it wasn't available because it's illegal. And I believe, and again, I'm a layman, I don't have any training. All I have was research, trying to help my friend. And yeah, ecstasy seems like it would have done it. And to all the gastroenterologists that I've pursued since then, trying to say this to so that they might make an actual medical study and pursue this and see if there's any merit to this idea that I have. Because sometimes good ideas come from weird sources, but you still play them out. You still friggin' look into them to see if there's any merit there, because sometimes there is, and I think this time there might be. I could be wrong. I'm no scientist. I'm no doctor, but damn it, it's a good idea. It makes sense. It's logical. It's reasonable. It might work, and it might have helped him. And yeah, uh, both meth and ecstasy, I think, would have been invaluable to his treatment and perhaps life saving. So, yet another example, at least in my life and my experience, again, anecdotally, um, that yeah, there's more merit and there's more reason to look into some of these drugs that they're trying so hard to get rid of. Um, if for nothing else, and I was going to end the video, but I'll end it with this. The reason that people use drugs, I mean, aside from the pursuit of happiness, which is inherent to their using, and I believe constitutionally protected, um, yeah, aside from that, what all the consciousness expanders and folk from the 60s were really trying to get at, it doesn't expand your mind. What it does is it gives you perspective. You have only your perspective and perception of your reality. You have nothing to compare that to. But on drugs, you bend and alter that perception. It gives you a baseline to compare to. You can compare your bent and warped state to your sober state. And if you remember the differences between those two, if you then you gain insight on your own personality and your own perceptions, and that is invaluable. That accounts for so much growth, personal growth, um, hell, societal growth. The DNA helix, they say, was discovered under the influence of LSD. Um, oh, homeboy, I don't remember his name. It escapes me. Um, but homeboy threw a perfect game, pitched a perfect game on acid. Um, any firing competition, sharpshooters and shit. Acid and alcohol are considered performance enhancing. Uh, uh, yeah. Beneficial. Uh, Something to think about. Um, yeah, but I'm gonna quit droning on. Keep your stick on the ice.